Commence primary ignition.
I'm just not the hero type, clearly.
What a piece of junk.
Enterprise, this is the captain.
I got a bad feeling about this.
It's all part of the plan.
Engage.
Welcome back to Podcast 2 for 1. I'm your host, Donovan Thompson, my co-host,
Daniel Wingfield.
and we are back with another Babycast of the week. And of course, we are talking Star Wars The Clone Wars, Season 7, Episode 3.
3.
Episode
3.
Yeah, in case you didn't know what 3 was. 3. Yeah. We're back.
We're back talking about this episode
The
again.
same thing.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to.
Turns out the story continued.
Yeah, I thought it was 2 episodes, and I thought it would be out of the Bad Batch, but apparently it goes not only to episode 3, but episode 4.
Right.
Episode 4. So
we'll be covering episode 4 next week.
Yeah, and
then following that.
But after that, after we cover episode 3, this episode, and episode 4 next week, we will be taking a hiatus from Star Wars.
Hiatus.
Yeah, and we're also implementing the same thing with Picard. We feel like that. After a few episodes or kind of the beginning of an arc, we're going to kind of step away from the series, and we may start doing some of these episodes in batches.
Basically, we do what we want.
Yeah,
because we're our own bosses.
pretty much.
Until you start paying us, then you can kind of tell us what to do.
Yeah,
But sorry, you got to pay for that privilege, and
so far,
if you're not paying, we're not buying.
no monies in the pocketes.
All right. Maybe borderline inappropriate. I'm not even sure.
Was it?
I mean, you're just kind of creating Spanish words out of English words.
Was that English appropriate or
probably cultural appropriation a little bit. I don't know.
Well,
Our listeners, our social justice listeners can write in. And let us know.
please.
Please rant about us on Twitter.
Of cultural appropriation, in Star Wars, in this episode titled "On the Wings of Caradax."
Oh, okay.
You like that one?
Right,
On the Wings of
that's a little
Caradax.
slick.
There is some interesting social commentary going on. I think overall, kind of the mimic episode 1 and 2. Again, we're following the Bad Batch.
We're still cool.
We're still cool. They're still keeping things entertaining.
Yep.
The cinematography is still up to snuff. We have some really cool action set pieces.
Great action. Some quality in it, like Jedi action.
Yeah.
Which I feel like the other first 2 episodes didn't have quite as much.
We got
of
Anakin
that.
back in this one, definitely.
And he's, he does that. He has some pretty cool sequences.
his
where
voice.
He sounds better. It doesn't sound as deep.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
It was weird in that first one, but yeah, when he takes down the walker,
was
at the
really
battle,
cool.
It was really cool.
Really, really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, and we can talk all day long, but I think we kind of covered that.
We can just talk all day long
for the first episodes about how quality the show is.
Yeah.
But one thing that kind of, I wouldn't say bothered me, but I thought might have been more interesting to mine, they kind of glossed over it a little bit, is when, I don't know who maybe it's Rex, but he kind of gives this speech to the I'm going to say indigenous people there. I don't know what their race is, but he gives it to them saying like, hey, now's the time to get into the war.
Right.
And basically join our forces and everything else. And I kind of felt like there was more there to be discussed, because I don't know, it felt like, hey, we brought the war to you and now it's your job to join us. And it felt like, I don't know.
But I think I agree. It feels, I mean, it is problematic.
Yeah. Right.
What's also funny, I noticed this
it's
watching
a TV show, a cartoon. But
so you know that the tech guy is translating everything, right?
Oh.
Between them.
Oh,
he
yeah.
translates everything except the speech. Rex gives the speech, and then the aliens just turn around and start like agreeing, talking, and you're like, "Well, wait, he didn't translate it. They don't know what he said." I mean, I know you're trying to fit the story in like 22 minutes.
Even more problems. There you go.
Yeah.
And
Continuity issues.
And that's hell, I didn't notice it, I guess. So I guess that's okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Storytelling wise, it doesn't matter. But I agree with you. It is problematic, but I think it's problematic intentionally.
I think so.
Because I feel like what the Clone Wars series was great at doing, and also, we go back to that discussion of what is it about the Clone Wars era that's so interesting.
Right.
I think to me is that there's no good guys and there's no pure good guys, there's no pure bad guys. Right?
I mean,
that the clone and the Galactic Army were positioned to think of them as good guys, but we're given over and over, and especially in the Clone Wars, reasons to see why the Republic side of the war is very, very wrong.
Right.
And to see the hypocrisy within the thinking, within that, like it, and to me, this felt like another, for one, it was just kind of brutal, like watching these natives get like slaughtered by the droids during the battle. Like it was like several times where like one gets knocked down and he's cowering and dude just caps him twice more in the head, like right in front of you, and it's like, or guys getting stomped on by walkers and stuff. So to me, it was like, for one, they're just showing that war has all these unintended consequences upon the people that wanted no interest in it.
Right.
And also that there aren't good guys. Like,
And I mean,
the clones aren't just good. They're following orders. They're soldiers.
That's true.
And we know for a fact that the mind behind the Clone Wars and the clone side of it is very evil.
Right.
But the Separatists aren't good either. They're very evil as well. You know what I mean? And the Jedi, while good, are flawed and arrogant. Like, there's just, I think that's what makes it so interesting, is that no one's good.
Yeah.
A lot of people are bad, but no one's really good.
And maybe this will be touched. You're right, 100%. I think it might be touched upon in episode 4, which is again the closing of the arc.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I just kind of felt like there was something something missing where they could have been more forced into doing it versus talked into doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And granted, again, I might be holding it. I should hold it to a higher standard. It's Star Wars, but it is a kids, at the end of the day, kids television show. Mm-hmm. Even though I think it's probably watched more by Star Wars adults than kids, probably at this point.
I think that's probably safe. Yeah,
probably safe.
Probably the kids that grew up watching it on TV are the main audience.
I mean, I doubt,
and they're all like my age.
I doubt kids are asking their parents to subscribe to Disney. I'm talking about 10-year-olds.
Probably not.
They probably don't know how that works. Maybe they do know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there's something there. I just kind of wish it was a little more nuanced and a little more. We touched upon the gravitas of of forcing these people to do this. And granted, I get it. They are under attack in the moment, so you have to make a decision.
It's either fight or die.
And it is 21 minutes. But
I think that honestly is the biggest reason. It's just we have such a compressed plot line that yes, in a fleshed out story, that needs to be a bigger moment.
Right.
But you just don't have time.
Makes sense. Makes complete sense.
But I agree. It does feel... But honestly, I think that if there are flaws of the Clone Wars series, that is a more common one.
Is the compression
It's
of time?
just because of the compression of time. I think that these moments that could have been bigger, could have been more impactful, had packed a bigger punch, they just are a little curtailed by the fact that, hey, we've only got 20 minutes to tell to get to a kind of finished place with where we are right now.
Gotcha.
But it did, the episode did, kind of set up something interesting for the finale of this little arc.
Go ahead.
Well, just at the very last episode, the very last shot with Echo.
Oh, he's like, there's something nefarious about him?
There was obviously, we sat with him after everyone gets on the transport, and he kind of has this look of uneasiness, but then also another look that it's hard to read. Like, is it nefariousness? Is it like guilt? Is it like... And I actually did have the thought, what if this whole thing was just a big old
trap
ploy?
It's a trap.
What if Echo is... What if Echo's actually a droid that replicated? Like, they built a droid to look like Echo.
That would be kind of
and gave him some of his personality.
Like a very human-like droid. I mean, he does look kind of skeleton-y, actually.
And he's got he's already basically half android. They welded up.
That was one thing another gripe I had with the gripes and grapes there.
Sure.
Was that he kind of felt like, he was kind of weak in the beginning, but he bounces back really quickly. Like he's granted, again, I think it's compression of time.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was kind of like, wow, he's just really back into the thick of it all, and we're raw. I mean, granted, again, we're running and gunning, but I don't know. There's something there that I was kind of like, but I think that probably, now that I think about it, after you saying that, it might make sense. That of course he's got to be operational quick because we got to move these people to exposition for X reason.
Right. And that's when either maybe he's a spy, they've brainwashed him, maybe he's just a droid they've made look like Echo. I mean, maybe he's a bomb. Maybe there's a bomb inside of him. I mean, there's many ways that this could have been an intentional plot.
Jedi Council or something, like kill people on the
I mean,
council.
I don't any reason why Echo would ever be in the Jedi Council. I imagine if their plot is something clone related, but
they typically report to like Obi-Wan and Anakin all the time.
Yeah, no, I mean they could killing Obi-Wan or Anakin would definitely be. That's what I'm saying.
They're generals at this point, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So, anyway, I think that might be like get close to these. Of course, at the same time, I don't think Emperor Palpatine. That's interesting. Emperor Palpatine is probably he doesn't want Anakin killed. For X reason.
No.
But I wonder how much of gets out of his control, even though
I think I don't think he's in direct control of much. Like I think he's working in the shadows. He's pulling lots of strings, but he's controlling the people that control things.
Yeah.
And when that happens, there can always be cracks.
Because even the
orders can get delivered you didn't intend.
Because even the Federalists don't know, like, I don't know.
Dooku knew.
I mean, yeah, but
Dooku was aware. I want to say Dooku was the only separatist that was actively aware
Palpatine.
that Palpatine was who he was.
Okay.
I mean, I'm fairly sure he does, especially just even in that scene in Revenge of the Sith where Anakin's got him, and Dooku looks at Palpatine very like
he does like, are
and
you
he's
gonna
like,
do something?
And then
he
Palpatine
goes,
says,
"Do it,"
and then
Yeah.
Dooku looks at Palpatine. I
Like-
think at that like, holy what, you know.
Oh, Papa Palps.
And Dooku, what a great character.
Man,
Love
he
Dooku.
has a cool hilt.
I'm wondering if he'll come back in this because he's been in the Clone Wars quite a bit.
I'm sure he'll probably make
He isn't dead yet, technically.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it seems like based on, and I don't know this, but since these are the first 4 episodes, we have 8 episodes left. And now it's like that will be the Darth Maul, Ahsoka, Anakin, Obi-Wan stuff. Like the
good stuff.
The good stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone's just dying for Ahsoka. I am. I'm just ready to get back with her because she really is the coolest original character to come out of the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And
So I really wish I have watched more because to me it's like I'm still in the early stages of Ahsoka, where she's kind of more annoying and not as like,
oh yeah,
she's like, you know, Sky Guy, you know, like the whole calling Anakin Sky Guy. But I'm looking forward to seeing more what's going on there.
Yeah, she gets very badass and really cool.
Cool. Well, we'll be back next week for episode 4, and then we'll take a small hiatus. We'll come back at the end of the series and do a recap.
Roundup.
A roundup, yeah. So if you haven't, go and check our Onward Babycast review with Johnny Brandon.
Yes.
We have that going on. We also just dropped our Picard episode.
An Outsider finale
and
as
the
well.
Outsider finale, yes. And during both of those, we talk about the Made in Arkansas Festival, and Johnny Brandon kind of breaks down some film festival secrets for us.
Breaks them right on down.
Yeah. Also, our live episode will be dropping, I believe, yesterday. So if you haven't, go check that out as well. And
fun time.
We'll be back next week. Have some more cool things happening down the pipeline. And hopefully,
if all goes correct, Bloodshot next week.
Bloodshot next week. Yeah. And also, we have. We can talk about that.
Yeah. Corona time.
Corona time.
We're going to be drinking Corona beers and talking Contagion versus Outbreak.
Contagion versus Outbreak.
The best movies we have to really understand our time.
At least the most popular movies.
Well, no. I mean they
most
say
popular.
You can't understand reality unless you've watched a movie that mirrors it.
Is that what they really say?
I've heard.
Is that really a saying?
No, that is not a saying.
Which means you can't understand your own reality unless you watch Podcast 2 for 1.
Exactly. We are your window into sanity.
There you go. That's how it works.
We are the calm in the storm.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah. Daniel, how can our listeners, if they want to understand the reality, how can they write in to their gods?
And you can send all your existential questions to bit.ly/241mail. There you can write into us and ask us about the meaning of life, why death is inevitable for everyone, and why happiness is a myth.
There you go. And of course, if for all your podcast 241 needs, go to podcast241.com. There you can go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We will be having a TikTok happen pretty soon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So then you should write into the shows.
Aware.
Or you know what you should do, Daniel? You should click our notifications. That way you do learn things like that on our YouTube channel.
I signed into the YouTube channel.
I'm just trying to promote our YouTube channel right now. So if you want to consume the content in the most accurate and visually satisfying way, then you can go on our YouTube and subscribe to the channel.
Sure.
And please leave a comment. And also, again, click the notification bell. That way you are up to date on all future episodes.
The YouTube is most accurate. I actually re-edit the audio for podcasts to insert lies within it. So this is the most accurate way to watch it and listen.
I like that.
You said it. I just was trying to justify it.
I'm laughing because how truthful it is. That's what,
exactly.
That's how I'm laughing.
Exactly. Everyone thinks it's the same episode, but
they're not.
No. Oh, you're gonna be like getting together around the water cooler, being like, "Hey, that was a great thing," and they're like, "What? I didn't."
People are gonna think you're fucking stupid
and crazy. They're gonna think you got the corona.
Exactly, and you don't want that, so you might as well just watch it on
YouTube and leave us a comment and a rating and subscribe.
Exactly, and if you leave us a rating, please
only give us 5 stars.
Thank you.
I don't know. Is there an equivalent? I don't think you can even give ratings on YouTube. Can you?
Thumb us up, baby.
Yeah, thumb up all of our videos.
Yeah, give us a good old thumb. Give us a Michael Keaton or a Val Kilmer Batman Forever thumbs up. So give us one of those.
And this is very important. If you do not want the coronavirus, subscribe to Podcast 241. The CDC has released a comprehensive report, and that is the only way to avoid it.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, share, talk to your friends about it to an annoying degree. and maybe you'll be safe. But
I read something that if you do have the coronavirus, if you talk about podcast 341 like in every other sentence, then your symptoms start to go away.
yes,
And you start to create like actual an antiviral.
right.
Like
and if you
yeah.
dedicate your profile picture to us, that also, I mean, I don't know if that'll cure you from the virus, but you'll definitely get some brownie points in heaven.
I was just going to say brownie points from God.
Well,
Yeah.
like mine's.
Yeah. Think alike.
Alike.
All right. Well, thank you guys. That is our Babycast podcast 2-for-1 review of Star Wars Episode 7. Sorry, Season 7, Episode 3.
There you go.
There you go.
Sorry, we're already getting a little corona.
I know.
In here.
I got to start mentioning our podcast more.
Yep.
So my name is Donovan Thompson.
I am Daniel Wingfield.
And we have spoken.